All right, let's get right into it. We all know ChatGPT is an amazing tool, but to really get the most out of it, you've got to know what it can't do well. Because let's be real, while it's super helpful, it's definitely not always right.
The best way to think about it is like this. Imagine you have a super smart assistant who speaks with 100% confidence, even when they're totally, completely wrong. And don't get me wrong, a lot of the time it gives you a fantastic answer. It can be a game changer for brainstorming ideas, drafting emails, or just breaking down something complicated.
But here's the real danger. Sometimes it gives you a flat-out wrong answer that sounds perfectly correct. And that confidence, that's what can trip you up if you're not careful.
So let's break down where its limits really are. We're going to look at the big ones, how it handles facts, its potential for errors, and, whether its information is even from this decade.
So it really boils down to a couple of major weaknesses you need to watch for. First, it can just make up facts, get dates, stats, you name it, completely wrong. And second, its knowledge base is often out of date. It doesn't have a live connection to the truth like a database, so for anything that's happening right now, you absolutely have to double-check its work. Okay, but here's the good news. The quality of the answer you get isn't just on the AI. A huge part of the puzzle is, well, it's you. Let's talk about how asking a better question can completely change the game.
So, look at this. If you ask a vague question, like, tell me about marketing, you're gonna get a generic, boring essay. But if you ask something super specific, like, give me 3 low-cost marketing ideas for a small bakery in Malaysia, boom, you get something you can actually use.
So you see, the big takeaway here is that when you get a bad answer, your first thought shouldn't be to blame the AI. Take a look at your question. A lot of the time, the problem isn't the AI, it's the prompt. And all of this leads to what I think is the smartest way to use ChatGPT safely and effectively. It's a really simple rule to keep in your head. It's called the thinking partner rule.
Here's how it works. Go ahead and use the AI as your creative partner. Let it help you draft things, brainstorm ideas, summarize long articles. But, and this is the most important part, when it comes to facts, money, or health, you always verify everything with a source you actually trust.
At the end of the day, if you remember one thing from this explainer, make it this. ChatGPT is an incredible tool to help you think faster and more creatively, but it's not here to replace your brain. Use ChatGPT to help you think, not to think for you.